Live.
Due to some violent content, parental discretion is advised.
Like my hair. Like me here. Here we go. There we go.
Oh, I don't know what this thing is. Greg gets a strip show, dance show.
Work there, dude.
Welcome to
DeaconLive.
DeaconLive.
Welcome back, guys. On today's show, why is Google Pay app now paying up? And we landed on the moon and the unforeseen update on that. And a vegetarian turned butcher was found dead. And watermelon. All this and much, much more will be discussed here on Deacon Live. And for the next 60 minutes or so, we'll get you up to date on all the social news and media feeds that you might have missed over the last 7 days. So how are you? How are things? How are things going? Are you doing okay? That's all I care about, is to make sure that you're doing all right and everyone's all right around you as well. I guess my levels are good. I have to fix something. Hold on. I guess they look all right. They just look a little... They're not as peppy as they usually are. Let's see if I got something going on here. Volume, we're there. Everything look good. I look good. Of course I look good. Normally it's bleeding all over the place. Let me find out something. Hold on. I knew something was going on. I did. Now I can tell. Now I can tell the difference. Now we can get on with the show. All right. So what'd you miss? I don't know. So now that I've got that figured out, I'm looking at the levels now. Yeah, I look good now. So hopefully everyone can hear me in the back of the room. Hear me okay? Everything all right? So I'm kind of excited and kind of like nervous at the same time. My wife, she's got a corporate job. She's a very high-ranking official in the job that she has. And part of her job that she has is she has to work essentially off of her phone. When she's not in the office, she has to work off of her phone. And because there's a lot of highly documented stuff, security documents and stuff that have to go through her phone, at the time right now, we have AT&T. And AT&T, for the longest time, her company supported the AT&T with security measures and stuff like that. So, personal information from all the people that she's dealing with doesn't get, hacked or anything like that. So what's happened now is, I guess, over the last year or around COVID time, her company says we're no longer going to support the AT&T software as far as work email. So you need to get a different phone. And of course, not that the company pays for her phone, because they don't pay for her phone, but they do give her, we get a break on like the internet and the phone usage itself. So if we want to, 500, 600, can you get a phone for $600 or less now? I think they're like 1,000 something now. So she said, you know what? We've had these phones. Just to tell you how old the phones are that we have. I have a Galaxy S10. That's, I'm just letting you know. And I think she's got the same one. If she doesn't have, and here's my phone if you're looking at us here on the YouTube channel. If she doesn't have the S10, she's got like the next one up. Because anytime that we're due for an upgrade, she gets the upgrade and I get her old phone, which is fine by me. I don't do anything with it. I listen to like the radio, podcasts. I do a little bit of, Facebooking, TikTok, just the basic stuff. I'm not, taking over third world countries with, just a press of my button on the phone there, as she is. So she's like, all right, we'll deal with it. She's been dealing with it now for over a year now, that she can't, anytime we go somewhere, if we go on a trip or something, she can't physically access her emails through her phone because of the whole AT&T thing. Not the outage, has nothing to do with that, but we're going to dive into that here a little bit later on the show, so stick around for that. I know exactly what happened, and I have a conspiracy, so this should be interesting. But back to my phone, she says, okay, we're going to have to go with T-Mobile. I'm kind of nervous because we've had AT&T. I've had AT&T before I met my wife, and she had AT&T, of course, before she met me. And so we've had it going on probably 18 years now, 18 if not 19 years. At least I know, let's say for me, 20 years. I've had AT&T for the last 20 years. She's had it for, if not longer than that, she's had it for that long. And we were grandfathered in on whatever service plan that we had. Every 2 years, we'd have to up it, and we had unlimited data, unlimited this, no throttling, all that stuff. But every time we transfer over every 2 years, we physically have to contact like a home AT&T base and talk to them and say, look, we've had these phones since, 20 or 2004, 2000, whatever it was, 20 years, do the math. And we bought this plan, and that's the plan we want to stick with. So they got to like pull a couple levers in their big warehouse and, pull this lever down and make sure Deacon gets unlimited this. And, he's pushing this one lever here. And all right, all right, you're good to go. You got unlimited everything. And now, because AT&T is not supported with my wife's company anymore, we're going to T-Mobile. I'm scared. I'm nervous. I say I'm scared, I'm nervous. I just don't want to be, I do a lot of data stuff on my phone. With the podcast, I say I don't do a whole lot on my phone. I do a lot with my phone as far as like reading news articles and listening to other podcasts and I said stealing. No, getting an idea of what's going on out there. I don't watch movies. My wife watches movies all the time on her phone. Is she going to be able to do that? Yeah, while she's on Wi-Fi, but traveling and stuff, I always get an alert. Ding, you're at 2 gigs of usage. And I just take that needle and I just move it right up. I'm like, I got unlimited. Why is it set on 2 gigs? Zip, 16. I'll never use 16, but still. So now we're switching over to T-Mobile. I think the price was a $10 difference. We were paying, I think, like $147 for the 2 phones with unlimited whatever we got. And now we're paying, I think, $160 something. But here's the deal. They throw in Netflix and Apple TV. I think Apple TV is for 1 year. And then they gave us these cool watches. I don't have Mommy right now because they're all in boxes sitting on the kitchen table in there. But because we haven't hooked them up yet, we still have to do the whole transfer over. But they gave us like Apple watches, but they're not. They're Google watches. They're Android watches. And it connects to my phone. And I'm like, the last time I wore a watch, I had a quote unquote full-time job where I had to sit there and go, okay, and when I say a full-time job, I was traveling with a production company. I had to always see what time it was because of production times. And that's the last time I had a watch. And that was probably 2009. So now I got to get used to wearing this watch. I don't know what it's going to do for me. Hopefully, I think there's biometrics on there where it'll take my heart rate, it'll take my sugars, my insulin, not all that stuff. But I'm just saying, it'll tell you, my heart rate, it'll tell me I haven't moved or anything, and just like a Fitbit type thing. So we'll see. It'll be interesting. So yeah, we're going to T-Mobile. Good thing, bad thing. I'd love to hear from you. And the way you can do that and be part of the show is go over to Prophet Radio, PROPHET radio.com. At the bottom of the page says Be Heard. Click on that little microphone. It opens up a little small screen. If you got a speaker and a microphone in front of you, whether it's on your Samsung S24 or S34, whatever's out there right now, or your Apple phone, whatever model the new model is out there, speak right into that. You can be anonymous if you want. It does say, name required. You can put, stinky pee-pee poopy pants, but you do have to put an email address in there because if I have any problems or anything, I need to reach out to you as far as just email and say, hey, got it, thank you, appreciate it, that type of stuff. I'm not going to stick you on a mailing list or anything like that. I don't have the time, especially driving my dad around now. Oh, yeah, big story there. And we'll save that for another episode. All right, guys, stick around when we come back. Did you know that we landed on the fucking moon? I had no idea until we did it. I had no idea leading up to it, where they keeping it all hush hush, where they getting the sound stage all set up and everything and get ready. All right. Who's the big director now? Back then it was, what's his name from The Shining. And now they'll get Michael Bay to do it or someone like explosions. So we landed on the moon, and I've got an update of actually what happened. And if you didn't know about it, I got the details of why we went there and what are we doing up there with that lander. All right, stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. We'd love to hear from you, and you can be podcast famous. You can be right here in the studio alongside of us, and all you have to do is go over to Prophet Radio, proud sponsors of Deacon Live. That's PROPHET radio.com. At the very bottom of the page is a little blue bar. It says Be Heard. It's got a little microphone on it. Click on that. Opens up a small window on your device. If you've got a microphone, you could be podcast famous. Speak right into it. Put your name in there. I don't care what you call yourself. If you want to call yourself Miss Twinkle Toes, you can do that. Put your email address in there as well, and it'll come right to our inbox. And if you get it in, we broadcast every Wednesday. So if you get it in before Wednesday, we'll play it on this week's podcast. But if you get it in on Thursday, then you have to wait till next Wednesday to hear your podcast. That's how it works. And we're coming up on 10 years. I went back through the catalog to find out when we actually did our very, very first show, like broadcast, like on iHeartRadio and all that stuff. We've been doing it for a while under different independent levels and stuff. But the DeaconLive 10-year anniversary will be March 29th, I believe. No, because that's my anniversary. It's the end of March. Let's put it that way. End of March will be 10 years. Actually, I think we've been doing the show longer than I've been married. So, yes, I think it is March 29th. I'll figure it out. I'll go back through the catalog again. I should have wrote it down. But unfortunately, I don't know how to write or spell or anything like that. Now, AT&T, speaking of writing and spelling, I told you we're switching from AT&T that I have had for over 20 years, and my wife has had it for even longer, if not just as long, to T-Mobile now. So my wife can now access her work's information on a more secure line. And you say, well, why is the phone so secure? My dad lives with us now, and this will be 2 years that he's been living with us. And he plays like online gaming all the time. And we had to get a separate router and a separate internet connection for him because we don't want that back door coming into the router because my wife works from home. She still has, files and stuff here, digital files on her computer and stuff that we don't want outside access to. We are worried that someone was going to go through a back door through my dad's internet if he was on our internet and get in there. So he's got his own separate with a firewall and a concrete wall and a thorny bush maybe right in the middle where you really can't get through it, just to give us a little bit more security here at the house. So, and the phones are the same way. Now, AT&T, I don't know if you guys remember this, back in, let's say 4 days ago, big outage. Everyone was freaking out. My phone won't work. Everything's going to hell. That we're crashing into damn Ukraine, damn Joe Biden, F you Joe Biden, or what all the other stuff. And this is your fault and whatever. And then, no, it's a simple little thing. And then they were like, oh, it's a cyber attack. Oh, we're getting attacked by, someone else outside. Damn China and the TikToks. Actually, what happened was AT&T said the cause of its national service outage was an execution of an incorrect process. Now, come on, AT&T. No wonder my wife's company is leaving your ass. AT&T said that the network disruption was which caused tens of thousands of customers to lose their cellular services Thursday was not a result of cyber attack. After the service was fully restored around 6 p.m. that day, a mobile phone service provider revealed that the results are the initiative investigation to the outage is forthcoming. Who writes these articles? I think they chat GPT these articles. Based on our initial review, we believe that the outage was caused by an application and execution of an incorrect process used as we are expanding our network, not a cyber attack, AT&T posted on X. We're continue to assess to ensure that we keep delivering great service and our customers deserve. Now, AT&T service suffered a national outage on Thursday about 3:30 a.m. and the website Down Detector noticed this just before 2 p.m. and the number of reports had declined drastically, nearly 4,900 after spiking more than 37,000 people at 9 a.m. So Down Detector, the website that tracks all the phone and internet services outages, reported that AT&T was down mostly in Atlanta, Chicago, Houston, and the Miami service areas. So if you've got a tower or a hub or somewhere in those areas, that's why your phone wasn't working. I had 3 guys over here doing like construction work on the house, a couple contractors and stuff. 2 of them had service, 1 of them didn't. I go, well, where are you located out of? He goes, well, I was born and raised out in Oklahoma and stuff, but my service is fine. So I don't know why he had service. They were all using his phone to call people, and the other two guys were like dead in the water. So that's what happened there. Now, on a lighter note, did you know, speaking of space and time and continuums, did you know that we went back to the moon? I had no idea that we were launching a rocket or a lander to land on the moon. Never saw anything. I was going through, I'm constantly looking through news feeds, constantly looking for this. And you see, every time Elon Musk farts and shoots a rocket up, they'll follow that. Anytime, what's his name? His boyfriend, Jeff Bezos, gets in that penis rocket and shoots a struggling actor up into the air. Everyone hears about that. I didn't hear about NASA. Remember those guys? The guys who started it all? Shot a lander up onto the moon. So for more on this, for every podcast we do, we have a matching video over on YouTube. Go over there. Make sure you subscribe to YouTube, our YouTube channel. You can get all the little bite-sized pieces up there, which they call shorts on YouTube. We're also on TikTok. I post a couple of videos on TikTok, but most of our information from the show goes over on YouTube. So subscribe over there, and you can see these in real time as we're talking about them here on the air. So here we go from CNN. I know. Ooh. This is CNN. Let's go to camera 4, make sure that we got all this. And, of course, there's a commercial. And another one.
You get your business online in minutes with the power of AI. With the perfect name.
So let's find out actually what happened and why we shot that rocket up there. So here we go.
Week strong, shall we? With some historic news from space. The Odysseus lunar lander, nicknamed Odie, or the IM-1, became the first U.S.-made spacecraft to land on the moon in 50 years. It was a bit of a nail-biter, though, according to the craft's developer, Intuitive Machines, which says engineers had to overcome navigation issues in order to make the landing possible. The spacecraft's position became a concern when flight controllers said they were getting weak signals from the vehicle. After a tense wait, Intuitive Machines eventually confirmed that the lander was upright and able to send data back to mission control.
Yay!
The purpose of this mission is to assess the environment of the moon's south pole, as NASA is planning to send astronauts there towards the end of 2026. This landing comes after a different U.S. company aborted its landing attempt last month. Now, at the same time the U.S. is accomplishing this feat, other countries are looking to make their giant leaps to the moon as well. Our space and defense correspondent, Kristen Fisher, has more.
Space Force, Space Force, Space Force.
For the first time
We're going to end up seeing Space Force here in full effect if this keeps going on. So here we go. Why is everyone going up there, and who's up there right now?
over 100 lunar missions planned for the moon before 2030, and they're made up of countries and companies all over the world. So why is everyone racing to the moon again? Well, the main reasons are resources, exploration, and politics. The moon is home to many resources like
emphasis on politics, because if you control the resources on the moon, you gain control of resources here on planet Earth.
rare earth minerals and elements like the isotope helium-3 that could prove useful to mine. Helium-3 is hard to find on Earth, but it can be found all over the moon and is theoretically vital towards nuclear fusion, a possibly game-changing clean energy source. Studies have theorized that water in ice form may be available in large quantities on the moon, and mining could provide water and oxygen, the critical elements needed to make rocket fuel and allow further exploration. The US, Russia, and China all have plans to establish permanent bases on the moon, offering a jumping-off point to explore Mars and go even deeper into outer space. But how legal is all of this potential activity on the moon? The 1967 United Nations Outer Space Treaty is signed by most countries when it comes to
most countries that were available in 1969.
It outlines that the moon should be the province of all mankind and should be used exclusively for peaceful purposes. So military bases, nuclear weapons, and weapons testing are forbidden. The treaty also stresses cooperation, but critics say that it lacks any means of enforcement, which could prove diplomatically dangerous.
Space Force, Space Force. This is where Space Force is coming in. I'm telling you. Let me switch back to camera one so you can see me. So that's what's happening. So we landed on the moon. We're going to go rape it full with its Hydro 3, which is made for making nuclear fusion and stuff, which is, burning cleaner and all that stuff. But then you got a nuclear waste, which is minute compared to what the Simpsons tell you and everyone believes. Everyone's still shell-shocked with Chernobyl and all the other 3 Mile Island and all those. as far as nuclear break, you'd be surprised how many nuclear power plants we have in the United States. Not a problem. The only thing is you got to figure out what to do with that jojoba green jewel, the green goo stuff that's floating out of it when you're all done. But that's for another day. That's for another group of people, another generation. That's the word I'm looking for. Now, here's an update on the Odysseus moon lander. It will cease working after this Thursday, starting tomorrow. A private U.S. lunar lander is expected to stop working on Tuesday. Sorry, Tuesday, not Thursday, the other day. Its mission was cut short after landing sideways near the south pole of the moon. Now, see, you can't believe, their CNN said, and that was a CNN report, you heard it, I didn't doctor it or do anything. They said that they were happy and surprised and were glad that the lunar landed upright after weak signals. They said everything's working fine. But no, this is from NPR. They're saying the intuitive machines in the Houston company that built and flew the spacecraft on Monday will continue to collect data until sunlight no longer shines on the solar panels. Based on the position of the Earth's moons, officials are expecting this to happen around Tuesday morning. That's 2 or 3 days short of the week-long study that NASA had planned on having that thing up there. The lunar is named... Okay, so they're going into the history of the lunar lander. Based on the photos of the NASA Lunar's Renaissance orbiter flying overhead, Odysseus landed within a mile or so of its intended target, which is not too bad. I mean, Christ, it's flying across space. You miss it by a mile? Man, you are way off. You missed that by a mile. The LRO photos from 56 miles up are the only ones right now showing the lunar lander on the surface. Has a little bit more of a spot in its grainy images. The camera ejecting experiment by Embry-Riddle Astronaut University to capture these images of the lander as they both descended was called off shortly before touchdown because of the last-minute navigation issue. According to NASA, the lunar ended up in a small degraded crater with a 12-degree slope, because they know this, right? At the closest, that's the closest that the spacecraft has ever come to the South Pole in that area. NASA, which plans to land astronauts in this region in the next few years, paid the Initiative Machines Corporation $118 million to deliver 6 experiments to the surface. Other customers had items on board as well. So what happened was it landed, it did the whole... Are we back on me now? What camera? All right. So basically what it did, I'm going to do a demonstration here. So here's the lander, if you're watching this on the YouTube video. So the lander comes down, doo, boop, and then it goes, patink, and it falls. Cover my face in front of the stupid thing, Travis. Comes down, doot, success, boom, and it falls right over, and now it's dead in a ditch. And so as long as the sun's still shining on the solar panels, it'll work. And I guess it probably went offline Tuesday or Wednesday. We don't know yet. I don't have an update on that just because this just happened recently. All right, guys, when we come back, this woman is... Tell me if you think she's right or wrong about the dresses that are selling at Target. Target, for the most part, it's a white person's store. And white people, if they see something in Target that they don't like, they're going to get upset about it. This is our store. This is our center. This is where we buy our clothes. Not those people. And I say those people, I'm talking every creed that's not white and every gender that's not male or female or whatever they can figure out and design. Why is this in our store? And I'll tell you what she said, that these new dresses for little girls for spring has come out. And tell me if she's wrong or not. So you're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Are you ready? Excuse me. Welcome back to Deacon Live. You want something for free? Well, we will give you something for free, but you got to do something for me. You've got to go over to Prophet Radio, proud sponsor of Deacon Live, and all the fine programming that comes out of the Prophet Radio studio. And you can check out all that over there at prophetradio.com. And at the top of the page says free swag. Pick out whatever prize pack you want over there, and we'll send it out to you. Just put a return address Not a return address. Just pick out whatever you want over there. It's not an email grab or anything like that. It's just their way of saying thank you for listening to all the different programming that comes out of this studio. Now, my dad has been living with us for 2 years now. This month will be 2 years. My mom passed away. So when my mom passed away, cleaned his house out, sold his house, sold everything that we could do. I said, Dad, move in with us. So now he's living with us. And we have a little farm truck, little red Nissan D21. If you ever know what those are, it's about the size of a Cracker Jack box. If you ever seen one of those, or animal cracker box, that's a better definition on it. And stick shift. Now, being 76 at the time when he moved in, his legs are not the best in the world. He's like, I got to buy me a car. So he went out and bought himself. He had good credit and all that stuff. And he bought a car, financed it, didn't pay cash for it or anything like that. He financed it, and he got himself one of those Ford. He's always been a Ford guy, an Eco 3. If you don't know what it is, look it up. It's about the size of a roller skate. And it's a little 3-cylinder jobby, but, he just needs something to go to and from the grocery store and to and from his doctor's appointments, which is great. Now, unfortunately, my dad has taken a turn for the worse. His legs, his arthritis, the crystallization in his joints, whatever he's got going on, he can't physically walk anymore as much as he used to. He can move around, with a walker or not a walker, the walker with the wheels on it. He can still get around. He can stand up. It's going up and down steps. And so I've been chauffeuring him around. So I've been driving this little eco sport car to doctor's appointment stuff. It's fun, sit there, little Ford thing, spinning around these corners on these 2-lane country back roads and stuff. So it's fun. That's what he's got. But right now, Ford is coming out, with all the electric cars and the smart cars that are out there. They're now have the built-in apps on the cars that'll actually self-repossess the car itself. It will start up. If you do not pay the bill, it will start up and drive back to the dealership. So I'm led to believe. So let's watch this video together in real time. And don't forget, for every podcast we have a matching YouTube video as well. Make sure you go over there and subscribe. I don't make any money over there. Believe me, it's just a way for you guys, another avenue for you guys to sit there and watch the show in another format, another media format, to where you can enjoy it. You can see what's going on here in the studio. Hi, I'm waving at you. So here we go. This is from Instagram. This is from Fox 12. I don't know where Fox 12's at. Hopefully I'll find it here in a minute. So let's find out how these cars are repossessing themselves.
Ford in the process of a patent application for self-driving cars to drive away from their owners. After a series of missed payments, Ford's proposal will force the car to drive itself to a repossession agency. Having the car drive away would be a last resort. The patent application shows Ford would first pressure delinquent owners by disabling some of the car's features, like the air conditioning or having the audio system play unpleasant sounds.
Oh, that would suck. That's like a torture. All right, you don't want to pay your bills? Hey, turn the AC off. Oh, man, it's hot today. the AC's not working. All right, and then you get all the kids in the car, and then they play unsettling music? How are they going to figure that out? They're going to put, like, Slayer and Megadeth and all those other... Some people might like that kind of music. What do they consider unsettling music? Let's find out more.
Wow. All right. Here's another reason to make
I guess that was it.
Payment on time. Ford in the process of a...
So there you go. Ford is in the process of coming up with a patent for a self-repossessing car, which I thought was interesting. I mean, technically, isn't OnStar... they're on General Motors, right? All GMs. So keep an eye out there. I don't know if that's going to be anything, because now if it's a self-driving car and it's going to repossess itself, what do people that know their car is going to get repossessed? Let me go back to camera one on me. What do people do when they know that their car is going to be repossessed? They park it in the driveway and they park as many cars as they can around that car. So if the car wants to repossess itself, is it going to know or be aware or self-aware that there's other cars around it, to where beep, 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 like Roomba stuck in the corner, can't get out, and it'll just go, doo-doo, please charge Roomba. Doo-doo, please repossess your car. Doo-doo, please make a payment on your car. Dude, that's what it should do. Is put out some kind of siren or sound to let all the neighbors know and embarrass you. Embarrassment will get you to make that payment on time. Okay. I'll do it, car. I'll do it. And you Venmo or Zelle or whatever to the Ford dealership or wherever you're financing it from. Okay, it's done. Doo-doo. Thank you. You may drive your car again with pleasant music and cold air. So that's what Ford's trying to do. God, we got so much technology. We don't know what to do with it. So we're just throwing technology at stuff that we don't even need to be doing that. Now, this this mom right here has asked if she's overreacting about this new dress in Target. Now, all the spring dresses are coming out for Easter. We're coming up on Easter here soon. Jesus Christ, we just had, wasn't he just born a couple months ago? Now we're praising his death and arrival. I know there's years difference in between. Don't get me fucking started on that. And a Michigan mom, Megan Mayer, was shopping at Target when she saw this outfit for her girls in the girls' clothing section that gave her a pause. At first glance, it appears to be a very modest smock-style pattern with balloon sleeves. But when Mayer looked closer at the dress, she noticed that there were side cutouts in the waist. Hold on, I'm not ready to talk to you yet, Megan Mayer, and it's Megan Meghan. Come on, give me a break. She says, I'm like, wait a minute. What in the world is going on here? She tells USA Today, I don't like filming myself in public, but I was curious to see if other people thought these slits were weird. In Mayer's TikTok video, she noted that her daughters, which is age 10 and 7, are not allowed to wear bikinis. She's more conservative when it comes to her kids' clothing, so maybe she's overreacting, but she wants to know what your opinion is. A lot of people are saying, no, you're not overreacting. You're parenting properly. You're parenting for your kids. You don't want your kids wearing that? That's fine. Other people say that I think the retailer is trying to mature our kids too fast. I agree with the mom. I bought this for my 6-year-old, and I think it's really super cute. She had nothing wrong with that one. Another person said, it's not an overreaction at all. Why would you think to put kids in something like that and wear for a girls' night? Something that I would wear out for a girls' night out. I grew up in a conservative house. We had cutouts and backless dresses, one person writes in here, for warm weather. I think for church, no, but for daytime dress, it's cute. So let's find out what's going on with the dress that this woman, Megan Mayer, has on her that's making her get all in a ruckus over on TikTok. So here we go.
Cute, like spring stuff. I am a little bit more conservative when it comes to my kids' clothes, so maybe I'm overreacting, but let me know what you think of these dresses. So this is the kids section, okay? This is a 6-7, okay? For reference, these are kids' sizes. This is the kids section. Look at these little...
So they're like little... they're called smock dresses, and they got the ballooning shoulders, like an Easter dress, but about right down by the waist, but on the hip level, are these cutouts that are hemmed. They're supposed to be there, and it's just kind of showing off the hip and the belly region a little bit, and the cutouts are no bigger than a softball. So let's see what else goes on with this video.
Little slits on the sides of these dresses, right at the hips on all of these dresses. Because I saw this, I was like, oh, this would be so... Thought this would be so cute for Easter, right? And then I see
they're cute dresses.
Little slit on the side. Okay, so on a 6-7-year-old, 10, 12-year-old, okay, but like 6-7-year-old, we're gonna expose this much skin on either side for like.
It is kind of weird.
I know I'm a little bit more conservative. I don't usually let my girls even wear bikinis, but maybe I'm overreacting. I don't know. I don't think this is appropriate at all for this age group.
Maybe the cutout, and I'm no parent by any means. I don't have kids or anything like that. So I don't, I wouldn't know how to react to this, but as an adult, I can react this way. And let me go back to me now. Maybe that they're supposed to be wearing something underneath it. For example, there might be a tank top or something that the girls would wear underneath that dress. I don't know. The styles or anything, but it's basically not a sundress. It's got, the big puffy shoulders. It looks like, You ever seen Little House on the Prairie? No, Deacon. We're not 97. I know, but you're aware of that country lifestyle and that country look. It's a country looking dress with a big, little Debbie snack cake, puffy arms or puffy shoulders. And right there where your waist would meet your hip, there's a cutout about, if you're watching this on the video, a cutout about that big, about the size of a softball. And it looks kind of stretchy, like it's got a stretchy material. So it's not just a hole. It's supposed to be form-fitting to the girl's waist. Maybe they're supposed to wear something underneath it, like a leotard or something like that, or panties. If they've got that dress on, if they have white stockings, maybe the stocking comes up and fills in the space in there. I don't know. I'm just saying. Overreacting, if you like it, buy it. If you don't like it, fine. Is someone going to be judgy? Everyone's going to be judgy. You don't need a dress to have people be judgy. Someone else will be judgy about it. But that's what's going on now. Now, unfortunately, we're changing our phones. I told you we're going from AT&T to T-Mobile. Now, something I'm not in tune with just yet. I was talking about throwing technology at things. I am not ready to let my credit card physically be attached to my phone. You lose your phone, you might as well just lose your bank account altogether. I'm not at that point yet. I'm kind of like when the internet came out and people were buying stuff off the internet. I'm not giving them my credit card number. Turn on Little House on the Prairie. I'm not giving them my information. They'll steal from me. Now everyone doesn't even think twice about it. Credit card. My wife has the credit card memorized, which drives me insane. Oh, you ready to buy something? It's a 116 and 555 and 4, and she's filling everything out. I'm like, oh, how do you know this stuff? Stop. Don't. But attaching a credit card to what Google Pay or Apple Pay or something like that is a common norm for a different generation. Not for me, but for a different generation. But right now, unfortunately, Google Pay app is shutting down in the United States. Users have all the way till June to move all their funds out of Google Pay. Google is retiring the standalone Pay app in the United States. Users have all the way till June 4th to transfer the money balance to bank accounts. And then, or what? Are they going to send out my phone's going off. Google Pay. What are they going to do? Keep the money? I don't know. Are they going to send you a check? Cut you a check for it? I would. Google Pay is a secure mobile wallet that lets users send monies to businesses or friends and make online purchases, pay bills, and earn reward that translates into cashbacks or discounts. The app has over 1 billion downloads on Google Play and is used by people across 180 countries on various platforms, whether it be Android, Windows, Mac, iOS, and Chrome as well. The giant announced that the change of effect in the United States version of the standalone Google Pay app, this service will remain available with all its regular features, including finding deals, getting cash back rewards, all the way till June 4th. After that day, the peer-to-peer payment through the app will no longer be supported in the U.S. market. Users that fail to transfer the funds, here you go, by the time it retires can still do it through the Google Pay website. So the app shuts down. You can still go to the Google Pay website, and then from there, you're fucked, I guess. I don't know. U.S.-based users can find detailed instructions on how to move their money out of Google Pay in this guide. I'm not going to click on it because it's going to lead me somewhere else. Also, more details on the sunsetting process are available on the updated support page. Google recommends that U.S. users switch to the Wallet app, which is now available, which company says it uses 5 times more than the Pay in the USA. So there you go. If you got Google Pay, again, I'm scared. We're watching, Fargo. And we're in season 4. If you ever watched Fargo, the TV series, it's pretty good. I don't know how they're all connected and stuff, but it's fun to watch them fold out. There's a scene where this one gang, mobster gang, came up with an idea of a credit card. And they were like, oh, that'll never be accepted. No one will do it because the guy who came up with the credit card was black. And they're like, at the time, this is set in the 50s, and they're like, oh, no one will do that. No one will do that. And then all of a sudden, they see an advertisement. The black guy who created the credit card sees an advertisement on the wall of Diners Club. And he's like, son of a bitch, that was my idea. And I don't know if that's the history of how Diners Club came to be. The Diners Club card? No, I don't know what that is either, Trev. Oh, I know. I'm dating myself on this one. But anyways, it's the same thing with Google Pay. When Google Pay came out, I was like, I don't know. I'm not too comfortable with it. And now it people that were love it. And then now they're taking it away. They didn't give a reason why they took it away. They're just taking it away. But there you have it. All right. When we come back, do you like Wendy's? I like Wendy's. It's good. Unfortunately, Wendy's is trying something new as well. And they're getting a lot of pushback. I want to hear your views on this as well. So stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Always and forever. Oh, for fuck's sake. Fuck. Open up download, stupid. All right, here we go. You ready? You don't care. You don't care. Keep going. Keep talking, funny boy. Welcome back to Deacon Live. Make sure you follow us on all your social contacts. And the way you do that is go to ProphetRadio.com. Proud sponsors of Deacon Live. That's Prophet Radio, PROPHET Radio. You can hear all the latest music over there at Prophet Radio. All the stuff, all the hooks and stuff you hear over on TikTok, and all the latest artists that are being played over there on Prophet Radio as well. There's also a bunch of independent artists that they proudly sponsor over there as well. And a lot of times you'll hear artists here on our program. Prophet Radio says, hey, man, promote these guys as well, and we'll do it happily to do that. And so make sure you support them as well. And that's ProphetRadio.com. Now, a gentleman by the name of Jared Standing is dead at 44. And you're like going, well, who the hell is Jared Standing? And why do we care that he's dead? Well, this gentleman right here, he died by suicide. He killed himself. But the what he's done, the story behind what he's done is what I found interesting about this article. And I'm going to dive into this article and we can dissect it a little bit more and kind of go into what he did and what he stood for. So Jared Standing is dead at 44. The beloved ethical butcher suicide death shocks the LA food community. Now, a popular LA butcher who's championed with animal welfare and ethical meat practices has died at the age of 44. Jared Standing, owner of Standing's Butchery in Hancock Park, was found dead in his home on February 22nd. The newspaper said that the LA County Medical Examiner ruled it was death by suicide. Now, that's what we know so far, but listen to what he actually did. So he was a former vegetarian and opened up his own butchery shop in 2017, which has since become one of the most popular butcher shops in LA. And you're like going, well, he went from being, a vegetarian to going into the butcher shop. Oh my God, that's horrible. Now, one thing that vegetarians will say, we don't like to eat meat because we think that it's cruel and unusual and we don't, animal rights and all this stuff. So here's a guy who was a vegetarian and switched over to being a butcher, but he was a different type of a butcher. Jared Standing built his company with a focus of sustainable sourcing of whole butchery. He insisted on limiting waste by using every part of the animal and source his meat only from California farmers that prioritize itself as being free-range habitats, heritage breeds, and all grass diets. So he's doing what the vegetarians kind of lean up against as far as, the common, not the common people, but the big structure of processing meat and processing animals. The butcher, who also hosted a popular burger pop-up stand, Burgers by Standing, because his last name's Standing, had recently announced plans to open a second butchery and reportedly had aspirations to open up a restaurant, including a permanent home for his pop-up business. His death has shocked the LA food community, and many say that they've suffered a tremendous loss, and Standing will be held deeply missed. Customers said that he was a staple in their daily routine, and that his shop made everyone feel like home in the city. So I bring this article up, and you're like, going, well, why'd you bring this article up? Because I don't want that. Vegetarians, they have this enigma about them. They're always against meat eaters. Oh, meat eaters and, the way you eat the meat and the way they process the food and stuff. I actually work with a guy who turned vegetarian because he saw one video. He said, I'm never eating an animal again. And I said, really? And we called him Lettuce. That was his nickname, Lettuce. Lettuce, what are you doing? Lettuce. Because that's all he would eat. And the Morningstar burgers and stuff. And when I met him, he was only like a vegetarian for like 3 years. I said, what made you turn into a vegetarian? He's like, I was over at a friend's house and we were sitting there, having beers and stuff. And we were doing something, playing cards. Or I don't know what those type people do. And at the time he was a meat eater. He said he was watching a documentary on how they process chickens. And I don't know if this was like an cover documentary and stuff, but he said in the video, the workers, as the chickens are coming down the line, they're still alive and stuff. The workers were, get ready. If you got kids under the age of, who cares, 17, and they're buying those dresses, bring them real close to the radio because this will freak them out. Bring them real close. Turn this volume up. He said that he was watching the workers through an undercover camera in the documentary was sticking their thumbs and fingers in the chicken's buttholes. Yes. He goes, from then on out, I will never eat meat again. I said, oh, really? That's what got you? The finger in the butthole, the chicken butt? Guess what? Chicken butt. If that's what made you quit eating meat altogether, bud, you got a lot to learn in your lifetime. And he was a young guy at the time when I met him. I think he was like barely 30 years old, but still, when you're 40 and someone's 30 and someone's 25, you're like going, oh, you're a kid still, you're a kid. But yeah, he quit eating meat altogether because of the old finger in the chicken butt. I know, that old hack, right? But this guy, Jared Standing, it didn't say how he utilized the whole entire animal, but at least that was his thing. And I know there's a lot of people out there. Well, we hunt deer, we hunt elk, we hunt all this, and we use the whole animal when we hunt. We use the pelt for whatever, the hide for whatever. We physically, the meat and stuff. We feed our family. They use that whole entire thing. I guess it's the mass production of like cows and stuff for, the Burger Kings, the McDonald's, the Wendy's, and all that stuff. And I bring up the Wendy's thing in the same sense as Wendy's right now is looking to test a surge pricing at his restaurant as early as next year. Now, if you've ever had an Uber driver or been on Uber or gotten a driver from Uber, you know that like there are certain times of the day, there are certain times of the year where the pricing goes from what normally would be a trip, a $15 trip, is now a $37 trip. That's what surge pricing is. It's supply and demand.
Hi, welcome to Wendy's. Hi, I'd like a Frosty and fries. You see, I'm going to take the fries and dip them in the Frosty. Yeah. We know. Say, have you seen our new dynamic digital menu? Yeah, McDonald's has a digital menu just like that. But ours is dynamic and powered by AI. If you come back here in a few hours and order another Frosty, it might be cheaper. Why can't it just be cheaper now? It all depends. AI tech can factor in store wait times, inventory, the weather outside, and what customers like you typically order. So if I come when it's less busy, your Frosty might be cheaper. What if like you have some food that's going bad soon and you have to sell it? Those must-sell items could possibly be cheaper. And if the weather outside is bad, possibly cheaper. But what's to stop you from raising prices during peak hours when regular customers like me will order food no matter what? Nothing. But a Wendy's rep recently said they don't plan to do that, so. Will you bring back the DC Wendy's that was in the middle of a busy intersection? Sadly, nothing can bring her back.
Wendy's is looking to test having their prices of its menus fluctuate throughout the day based on the demand. Implementing a strategy. Am I saying that right? Strategy. Sorry. The wrong emphasis on the wrong syllable. That has already taken a hold with ride-sharing companies and ticket sellers. Now, hold on, Wendy's. You are not a ride-sharing company, and you are not a ticket seller. You are a food. You make a hamburger, you put the hamburger out, the hamburger sells. You make another hamburger, the hamburger goes out, that hamburger sells. You are not a ride-sharing or a ticket seller. During a conference call earlier this month, Wendy's CEO Kirk Tannen said that in Dublin, Ohio, the base burger chain would start testing dynamic processing, also known as surge pricing. All right, did I say Derek? His name's Kirk Tanner. There's a lot of letters in there. I just kind of crammed them together. All right, Kirk Tanner, get ready to lose your job. Beginning as early as 2025, we will be testing more enhanced features like dynamic processing and day part offerings, along with AI-enabled menus, changes and suggestive selling. All right, I'm fine with that. If you want to promote whatever sandwich you got of the week, I'm fine with that. As we continue to show the benefit of this technology in our company-operated restaurants, franchisees' interest in the digital menu board should increase. Future supporting sales and profits grow across the whole entire system. Wendy's Co. plans to invest about $20 million to launch its digital menu boards in all of its U.S. company-run restaurants by the end of 2025. It also plans on investing approximately $10 million over the next 2 years to support the digital menu enhancement globally. Tanner, a longtime PepsiCo executive, became Wendy's CEO earlier this month. He succeeded by blah, 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 and in 2016. Last year, I don't care about that. Shares, here's the best part at the end of the article. Shares of Wendy's fell slightly Tuesday morning of trading after the news came out. So tell me what you feel. And I say that. Am I still on me? The camera on me still? There we go. So I was telling my dad this, and he goes, "What?" I go, "Yeah." So when you have a restaurant, like a fast food restaurant, Burger King, Wendy's, Taco Bell, whatever, you serve breakfast during a certain time, right? Usually cuts off at 10:30. Then you have lunch, and then you have dinner. So lunch is what, 11 to 2, and dinner is what, starts at 4:30, 5 o'clock? I don't know when people eat dinner, especially fast food. Is it later? Let's say 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock. So there's a 2-hour window. Your $1.50 hamburger, are they $1.50? You can tell how long I've had a hamburger or bought a hamburger. Your $1.50 hamburger goes up to what, $2.75? During that time? Well, I'm not eating then. I'm not going to eat there during that time. I'll get it prior. What if you order it and then Sam will pick it up at this time? Like, what if you order before the window? So let's say the dinner window is 6 to 8, right? And then if you're open 24 hours, then you got the late night drunk hour, which is from 11 to 2, right? Are you going to surcharge that as well? But what if you pre-order your dinner, 6 to 8, you pre-order at 4 o'clock, I'll pick it up at 6 o'clock. Are you going to get charged with that? There's a lot of unanswered questions there. And I think Wendy's, being the number 3 retailer as far as fast food, I think you're going to see them drop down to 8 real quick. I know. I like Wendy's. Their Baconator fucking kills me. Their breakfast sucks, by the way. Breakfast sucks. That's all I have to say. Breakfast sucks there. But somewhere where their breakfast doesn't suck is Chick-fil-A. My dad and I went to one of his appointments. Like I said, we were driving him around, or I was driving him around, and I went to one of his appointments, and as a courtesy, hey, I'll take you to lunch, is what my dad says. All right, fine. So now that I'm taking him everywhere as doctor's appointments, I either get a free breakfast or a free lunch, depending on when and where the appointment's at. But I don't eat fast food. This is the only time I eat fast food because that's what my dad likes when he's out. I'm like, oh God, let's go to Chick-fil-A this time. Let's go to Chick-fil-A for lunch. I had a chicken sandwich, or a spicy chicken sandwich. My dad had with the lettuce and the tomato deluxe, I guess is what it's called. And then I brought my wife home a chicken sandwich as well. Why'd you do that? She didn't even go on the trip. No, I bought the chicken sandwich for my wife. My dad didn't pay for that. But when you think Chick-fil-A, you think My pleasure. Hey, can I help you with that? My pleasure. The girl that took our Chick-fil-A order, walk inside. My dad goes, you know what? I've never eaten inside a Chick-fil-A. I go, well, Dad, it's the first time for everything. And a moon lander landed on the moon, didn't do anything either. So it's the first time for everything. I don't know what I meant by that, but I'll cut that out probably. I said, let's go inside. And so my dad's, he's got his little walker wheelie thing. We go inside. And I don't want to say that, the employees that work at, almost at KFC, at Chick-fil-A. There are lifers that's their job. Thank you, Jesus. Thank God. God bless you and all that stuff. That's because it is a religious-based company. And then there are a couple duds that are in there. And there's nothing wrong with them. My uncle was, semi-slow, semi-retarded. Someone gave him an opportunity. He had a job. He did it very well, and he did it very well for 40 years until he died. There are some opportunities that Chick-fil-A hands out to people that are a little special, a little different. If you can do this, this, and this, you can run the register. So the girl that took the girl that took my dad and I's order was a little different. She was a little nervous. I don't know why. We gave our order. Okay, is there anything? And, hands by the side, Mormon dress, just very, very, I don't want to mess up. I don't want to mess up. Took our order. Everything's fine. But you never really think about weird people like at Chick-fil-A. And when I say weird people, you've seen videos of fights in like Burger King and McDonald's and Wendy's, and you see people like at Subway, they're on heroin working there and they're barely keeping their eyes open trying to make your sandwich and stuff. This video right here, for whatever reason, oh, no, we're not done yet. Not done yet. For whatever reason, this video is making the rounds over on TikTok. Now, for every video we have or podcast we have matching video. Make sure you go over to YouTube and check this out as well. This girl, the cashier, is trying to take this couple's order. And the faces that she's making is extremely animated. Like she is, whoo, ah, yeah, anything else. So I'm going to switch the camera forward. I'm going to play this video and you can see this in real time. Is this her? Is this staged? Is this really what goes on? What's happening over at Taco Bell at Chick-fil-A? Let's find out. Let's watch this video real quick.
I love you.
Not that one. Here we go. So this girl right here, Chick-fil-A gal.
All right. And then can I also have barbecue sauce or do you have...
So it starts out. She's like, okay, and a lemonade. And she sucks her teeth and opens her mouth like, and looking at the person like she does not believe that they're going to order something else and not Chick-fil-A sauce. So let me backtrack a little bit and you can hear her smack her mouth real quick in the video. So here we go. Let me make sure that we can see the video. Yep, we can see it. Here we go.
All right. And then can I also have barbecue sauce or do you have like buffalo sauce?
What?
No Chick-fil-A sauce? No Chick-fil-A sauce. So you want a barbecue sauce? Yes.
The face that she makes. Like, what? You don't want Chick-fil-A sauce? And she's like, she looks at the camera and then she looks at the customer again. And this has been going on. This video's been going all over the place as far as being
Can I also have barbecue sauce or do you have like the buffalo sauce?
What?
No Chick-fil-A sauce? No Chick-fil-A sauce. So you want a barbecue sauce? Yes.
So I don't know if it's being staged. Let me go back to camera one. I don't know if this is being staged and if that's her friends or something like that trying to be, funny on TikTok. If it is, it's hilarious. It's hilarious to see this girl, the face that she makes. She almost looks like one of those hand puppet dolls, like a mannequin hand puppet things. Her face, I don't know, it's creepy face. All right, guys, when we come back, watermelon. I'll dive into that story when we come back. Stick around. You listen to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. We'd love to hear from you, and the way you can be podcast famous is whatever device right now that you're listening to us on. go over to Prophet Radio, PROPHET Radio. At the bottom of the page says Be Heard. It's got a little microphone. It's a little blue bar, kind of floats around the page somewhere, depending on what device you're on. And click on that. If you've got a microphone and you can speak clearly, speak right into that. You can put a fake name in there. I don't care. Put your email address. It's not an email grab. It's just you have to verify that you are a human, basically, is what they're doing. Speak right into your device, and you can talk about the last almost coming up on 10 years. At the end of next month will be 10 years of doing this show, Deacon Live. You can comment on anything. We broadcast every Wednesday right out of the Charlotte area. And you can speak right in that, and we'll play it on the very next podcast as well. I was going through my spam folder. I saw a bunch of them over there. I didn't realize that. I was like going, I haven't heard from anyone this week. And I looked over my spam folder. I'm like, oh, there's 6 or 7 of them right there. So I'll dice those up, and we'll play them on the very next podcast as well. Sorry. I know. I wasn't doing my job correctly. Now, many years ago, the Orlando Magic, I was born and raised in Orlando, and I never played like high school basketball. I kind of played like outside of high school. I didn't want to be a jock in school. I wanted to be a jock outside of school because I was too cool to play sports in school. But outside of school, I did very well. I signed up for like 6 feet and under league and 6 feet and over league. And I played with a lot of professional players and amateur basketball players from the CBA and all that. One of the things that I got picked up for was I was picked up for a practice team for the Orlando Magic. And I ran power forward, which means I'm, 6'2", and, I'm not, at the time, I wasn't, a big guy, or I was a big guy, not a little guy. So I would sit there and run the court, and I could post up next to several of the Magic players, Greg Kite, Sam Vincent. Well, he was a guard mostly. Terry Catledge, all those guys. I used to play basketball with them. And one thing that I always found funny is when they had the tip-off or a foul or a jump ball or something like that. You always saw the 2 people that got the jump ball, the most mismatched. It was like Yao Ming and, Muggsy Bogues. And Muggsy Bogues, if you don't know, he's 5'6", and Yao Ming, I think, is like 7'10". And it's always funny, all the announcers go, well, who's going to win this tip-off? And this guy right here in this video, this high school video, kind of played the game. And I never would have thought of this. I didn't know if it was legal or not. I don't know if it was legal. But what he does is, and don't forget, for every podcast, we do have a matching video over on YouTube. You can see this in real time as we're talking about it here on the show. You can comment down below during the podcast videos as well. So this video right here shows 2 basketball players. Looks like high school. It might be, yeah, it's a high school. Looking at the audience, it's real thin. And they have a jump ball. And the one guy, what a jump ball is, both team members go up and they try to tip the ball to their teammates. The one guy doesn't even jump up. He runs behind the guy tipping the ball, because you always tip it back because you got your team behind you. And he steals the ball from the guy tipping at the jump off to his teammate. So here we go. Instead of me rambling here, well, let's watch this video. You can see it in real time. Here we go. Camera 4. You ready? Here we go. Oh, let's turn the sound on. Throws it up.
Sebo, what the fuck? Sebo!
Sebo!
Oh, goodness, he turned already!
One more time. They throw it up.
What the fuck?
And he runs around the guy and grabs the tip off and scores the basket. So that's a quick 2 right there. I didn't know if that was legal or not. If you know it was legal or if that's allowed in collegiate football or football, basketball, let us know. Now, I made the mistake and said football because our next thing that we're going to talk about right here that's taking over the internet is this whole entire ice football. Yes, ice football. It's where football meets the hockey rink. Over in Germany, they've taken the American Football League and made this an interplay sports event. American ice football has become a popular sport in Deutschland, over in Germany, which is pretty much everything you expect it to be. It's a hockey rink where football lines and hash marks and end zones, just like football. There are blocking, forward passing, field goals, and dramatic touchdowns. But there's there's a difference. It's all being played on ice, which makes the sport a little bit more entertaining. Players are dressed in hockey gear with football helmets. There's also cheerleaders and music to pump up the crowd, and lights displays every touchdown scored. Now, in a blog from WRKR-FM in Kalamazoo, Michigan, each team has 8 players on the ice. It's a standard Arena Football League rules, so if you're familiar with Arena Football League here in the United States, but it's all done on ice. Just to be clear, the players aren't wearing skates. They're wearing just regular shoes, all right? So there's the difference. According to Essential Sports, each team roster features an array of athletics, celebrities, and former pro hockey players, and also pro hockey or pro football players. It's unclear how long the season will last, but last year's season ended right before Super Bowl 53. So let's see. This is, switch videos here. Let's go back to camera 4 so you can see this. So here's a small little snippet of the West Side Westies playing the Eastie Boys in the American Ice Football League is what they're calling it. So here we go. Let me go back to me now. So my question is, they probably don't have a whole lot of stuff in the offseason in hockey over in Germany, in Deutschland. So they were like going, fuck it. We have the ice here. Let's create another game. Let's take the America Arena League football, which essentially is the basic football in the offseason for NFL, and let's adapt those to this. It's scary because you're on ice and you're sliding around. So you're wearing hockey gear, football helmet, and you're playing football. So you're trying to run, trying to get momentum, spinning your feet, spinning your wheels, trying to catch up to the football. And then you catch it, and then you're like going, all right, well, now I've got momentum. I've got to stop and go that way now. So you kind of go, hit the wall, bounce off that. Now I'm going this way. So now you're trying to get the wheels back going. It's like, yakety sax playing in there. And then, so they're having a good time over in Deutschland. And those people are known for humor. So there you go there. And one more thing before I let you go. Here's a little earworm that you're going to have. You're going to be walking around the house repeating this phrase over and over again. This boy right here is 4 years old. Now, I know there's a big bill out there on the docket saying that we don't want our kids that are 16 years or younger to be on social media anymore. It's kind of like buying cigarettes, kind of like buying alcohol. They've taken, the porn sites out of a lot of the different communities. If you try to, access different porn sites, you have to be over 18 now instead of just like free range and willy-nilly. But yet they're like FanDuel and all the sports betting is coming in just fine and dandy. They don't care. You just sign up for it. They don't care about that as long as you got a credit card, I guess. But this kid right here is 4 years old, and he's making his rounds as well over on TikTok. So I'm going to switch over to camera 4, and you can see this in real time as we're talking about it here. I don't know his name. All I know is what he does, and this is what he does. Oh, shit.
All right, and then can I...
Nope, don't want that one. Here we go.
I love you, man.
So it's a little kid, and he's got a Kool-Aid smile on it, and his mom or someone's sticking a camera in his face with the light on. And it's titled 4-Year-Old Expects More in 2024. His first phrase out of his mouth says, I love humans. And he goes, come on, man, it's 2024. So let's see what else this genius has to say.
I love humans. Come on, man, it's 2024. 1 minute! 1 minute! Freedom,
freedom, freedom, freedom.
Watermelon!
Watermelon! So there you go. Watermelon.
1 minute! 1 Watermelon!
All right, so there you go. That's going to be stuck in your mind. You're going to be running around the house going, watermelon, watermelon. All right, guys, on that note, I'm going to let you get back to enjoying the rest of your day. Make sure you follow us on all your social networks. The way you do that is go over to Prophet Radio, PROPHET radio.com, proud sponsors of DeaconLive and all the other fine broadcasting that comes out of this studio. Make sure you like and subscribe to us over on YouTube. It's not a money grab over there. It's just another avenue for you guys to enjoy the podcast. And you can see what goes on here in the studio as I scratch this thing under my arm. What are you doing? I'm scratching my arm. All right, guys. My name is the Deacon saying goodnight and goodnight.
Wait! Come back!
This is the end. The absolute end.
Écoute-moi.
Watermelon! Melon! Watermelon! Oh, I know. Every week. New face, new face, new face. See you, bye.